Hello my friend and welcome or welcome back. My name is Oki and today we are having a look at some good news coming in for you and some positive changes coming in for you. And if you have watched any of my other readings, you will know that normally I like to look at the challenging aspects of life as well as the positive ones, and I try to provide you with some guidance how to transform those or how to face those challenges. But I think we all sometimes need and deserve a break from looking at the difficult parts and focus on the positive parts instead, and that's what we are going to do today. So as you can see, I've shuffled out 4 cards for you, and let me give you a close-up of those cards. So option number 1 is Lady of the Lost. Give to others, treasure life and all its magic. Group 2, we have the Mandragora Mother. Find the secrets hidden in the brambles. For group number 3, we have the Faery Harper. Find the words to long forgotten songs and dance to the music in your soul. And last but not least, we have the Gnome of mushrooms and buttons. Seek silliness and joy. They are wise teachers. And as always, you will find the timestamps in the description box below. I hope you enjoy your reading. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this beautiful card, the Lady of the Lost. Give to others, treasure life and all its magic. Yeah, a very beautiful card with the woman here petting that animal and taking care of that animal, and thereby receiving joy by caring for others and giving to others. So that might already be a clue for you, but let's have a look at what those good news are all about. Whoop, there's already 2 cards jumping out. Let's have a look. And we have Rooted, which would be the Hierophant in other decks. And we have 4 of Crystals, so the 4 of Pentacles. A lot of grounding energy. Grounding and then growing energy. I think the good news you're about to receive has something to do with gaining more stability. Maybe financial stability, maybe your health will become more stable, maybe it's your living situation. It has something to do with the physical world that will become more stable for you. Yeah, I'm getting a very clear message here about the stability. But let's see, Temple of Light. Again, a very beautiful card with all those lights, almost like they're pouring down from the sky. And it looks like the person is dancing with joy perhaps. So whatever this message is about, I think it will feel like a gift, or maybe it is an actual gift. Since I already mentioned that it will give you more stability and then also the possibility for growth, I think it could have to do with if you were looking for a job, you will get a new job. If you were looking for a new home, you will get a new home. Maybe also some surprise money coming in for you as a gift. Or maybe some project from the past that you had already given up on now suddenly takes up and you will get your rewards for it that way. Yeah, I'm seeing you dancing and enjoying yourself and also expanding with the arms spread to the side and the water reaching all the way to the horizon. And also those vast structures reaching up, so a lot of upliftment, growth in all directions. And sensing into the energy again, I'm getting a sense of a very stable, centered, grounded energy, but also a very light-hearted, light, delighted energy. Yeah, we are off to a good start. So let's see how those news will change your life for the better. And we got divine. And this, of course, in other decks would be the High Priestess. But also I'm hearing you will feel divine. So yeah, I think you will just, as this card mentioned, that find the treasure and the magic in life. And look at all the stars on this card. It's like you're sparkling and your life is sparkling. And I think your life will appear more magical to you than ever before. And you will feel more magical and more powerful and more divine and beautiful than ever before. Even her pose, I feel like she's being celebrated. She's some sort of celebrity or star or divine being. So I feel that you're really leveling up once you've created that stability for yourself. And we have the butterfly. Yeah, and with both cards with the yellow colors, there's really this light-hearted, fun energy, this radiant energy. So really, yeah, again, this message is very straightforward. Discovering the treasures of life, celebrating life, enjoying life, living life to the fullest. And coming into bloom, right? The transformation is behind you. Now you're ready to take off, to take flight, to express yourself in all of your beauty. Okay. And now let's have a look what other things you can look forward towards in the near future. Getting those two cards, we have the Page of Cups and the Six of Crystals or Pentacles. Again, with the Six of Crystals, it seems like a continuation of the theme of the Four of Crystals, where it will be stable and balanced, but in this case, it will be a more dynamic balance, I think. Where this speaks about creating a stable base, this speaks more so about being in flow and really being balanced in both taking and giving and taking. And with the Page of Cup, I feel you will have more time and more space for taking care of yourself, taking care of your emotions also, or even becoming aware of your emotions. I think you're probably moving out of a very stressful time right now, and maybe you didn't have time to dream because she looks like she's dreaming a bit, right? But now you have time for it. Now you have time to take a moment and pause and dream up and think about the things that you really want and take steps towards the things you really want. And take better care of yourself, I'm getting again, and enjoying it. Because self-care doesn't have to be a task. It can be a bit of a luxury, right? From those two cards, I'm getting a more soft and relaxed energy. And maybe so far you haven't been able to allow yourself to be more soft and relaxed and even a bit vulnerable maybe. But I think in the future you will be able to, and it will give you a more rounded experience of life. A more complex experience of life, a more joyful, delightful experience of life. Okay, let's get one more card to see what else you can look for in the near future. And I'm seeing this card. The cosmic heart, devotion, potency, make your life a moving prayer. The cosmic heart, yes. Being very aligned with your hopes and dreams and goals. And also reconnecting to yourself, to your desires, to your emotions. And making it a priority in your life. And living more from your heart. And drawing power from living from your heart. And also again, look at her. She looks very dreamlike, dancing, very sort of blissed out maybe even. Yeah, again, overall I'm getting the feeling that you will gain so much stability and balance that will allow you to open up to the magic of life. And to be fully yourself and have a rounded experience of yourself and the world. So yeah, I think those are really good news. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. That is all for now. Please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this beautiful card, the Mandragora Mother, and it says, find the secrets hidden in the brambles. Yeah, that seems to be a very powerful card to me, or I'm getting a very powerful energy right away. And I feel for you that good news might have to do with something looking a bit difficult or dark right now, but there are some secret treasures hidden in it. And maybe by crawling through the brambles you will get a bit scratched, but I think you will discover something that is very meaningful or very worthwhile for you. But let's have a look what these good news are about. Oops. Death. Okay. So of course the death card in tarot stands not so much for death but for transformation. And look at this death card, even the figure in it. They look very sort of elegant and happy and radiant, and with the flower almost like a bride or something. That's the vibe I'm getting. So yeah, I think there's a powerful transformation coming up for you. And as I mentioned before, it might look a bit difficult or dark at first, but it will lead you to better things. I'm sure of that. And maybe we can get some more information about that. Yeah, this is the card Beyond the Veil. Again, also the theme of death maybe. And clear waters. Yeah. So I think this is what you're craving. Sort of a blank slate, a new beginning. Just some sort of clarity or some space where nothing is defined yet, and you are very able to create whatever you want out of it. And I think that's why the death card came out. I think it's really a big transformation, a big shift, not just a small one. So big, in fact, I feel that for some of you it will really feel like you're starting over. You're beginning from zero, more or less. Beginning from nothing, but in a very good way. When this card came out, I felt a huge sense of relief. So I think there's something that you want to let go of, and you will be able to. And also with the Beyond the Veil, of course, that can be a metaphor for the afterlife, but it can also mean moving from sort of darkness and not knowing into clarity and some revelation sort of experience. some opening of the veil, some clearing up of the fog, and moving into this brightness. I'm getting a lot of brightness from these two cards. Okay, let's have a look now on how this will show up for you and how it will change your life. And I already felt this card. Creator, yes. As I mentioned, creating something entirely new. And we also have the Three of Daggers or Three of Swords in other tarot decks. And of course, the Creator in other tarot decks is the Empress. So there's really this energy of great abundance coming in, and you being able to create your own life. Yeah, very strong creative powers. Drawing in the things that you want, the things that you need, and sort of taking charge and stepping into your power and being the author of your own life. And I think this goes very well with the Mandragora. As I mentioned before, I already felt this powerful energy right at the beginning. And I think also what that energy will allow you is to move on from past hurt, or to move on from maybe thinking patterns where you're always expecting the worst, or you're expecting betrayal, or you're expecting failure. I think you will be able to leave those thinking patterns behind and really become aware of your power. And I think part of that power is really having a more optimistic view on life, right? As we mentioned before, that there's some difficulty that really turns out to be a blessing in disguise. And I think one step you can take right now is being open to it being a blessing in disguise, and just considering that might be the truth. And I'm not a person who says that everything happens for a reason, but I strongly believe that whatever happens, you can make the best out of it. You can learn something from it. You can use it to make adjustments to your life. And even if it just, the only thing that you learn is what you don't want, you still have learned something. So I think that is a whole process for you. And also, I think gaining more agency and gaining more awareness that whatever the situation might be, there's always some choice, even when it feels like there's no choice. And sometimes the choice is just slightly changing your attitude and dealing with it differently, because we can't really choose what life gives us, right? But we can choose how we want to be with that. And if you don't know how you can be with that, just ask your guides, just sit in meditation and ask, how can I be with that? That's actually something that I did, and that really helped me. Because I had a very difficult situation in my life where really my health and my mental health were quite bad, and because they were so bad, everything else sort of turned bad also. And I think the turning point was for me when I didn't fight it, when I just surrendered to it, and I just sat down and asked, okay, how can I be with that? And then from there, how can I be with that and enjoy life, right? So really taking baby steps, but really making an effort to shift your perspective, to shift your attitude, to shift your mindset. And I know it's difficult, but an easy practice you could do to start with is have a gratitude practice where you write down at the end of the day 10 things that you are grateful for, and they can be anything. They could be, I'm grateful that I had a good breakfast. I'm grateful that a friend sent me a friendly text, whatever it is. And also include yourself in those gratitude lists, like saying, I'm grateful to myself that I chose to have a more positive outlook, or I'm grateful to myself that I am trying out something new that I never tried before. But this is powerful. Whatever this is powerful. And if you can't see it at the moment, I am here to give you hope and tell you whatever this difficult situation is, it will transform into something beautiful if you allow it. Okay, and let's have a look what else you can look forward to in the near future. What else can you look forward to in the near future? And we have the Ace of Crystals. Yeah, with that I'm getting, you will really get the opportunity to start, as I mentioned before, almost like an entirely new life. I'm not quite sure what that means, but I think there's something in your life that requires a major shift. I'm not sure if it's maybe your career or your home life or where you live, or maybe you need a new approach to supporting yourself, your self-care, your health. For some reason I am getting a sense that, I don't know, I'm not quite sure how to phrase it. What I heard was work less and achieve more. So maybe you have been trying too hard in some ways, or have been too maybe perfectionist, or maybe you had a certain vision on how things would turn out and that's not how they turned out. I think what would be beneficial for you is to take a bit of a break and take some time to reflect and maybe become more flexible in your ideas how things are supposed to work. And then that will open your eyes to new opportunities, I think. If you can focus on those energies, I think that will give you new ideas how to be the creator of your life. But there are definitely opportunities coming in for you. And we have Star Ancestors, Hidden Secrets, Lost Wisdom, Look a Little Deeper. Yes, that goes so well with the rest of the reading. There are some secrets. Some of this is still a secret. So maybe you don't know right now how it will work out, or you can't see it, or it really does look a bit problematic at the moment. But here again it says look a little deeper. And I think not only a little deeper, but also be more flexible, be more open-minded, be more allowing, be more accepting of what is. And by accepting, I don't mean saying yes to everything and anything, or thinking that you don't deserve any better. By accepting, I mean accept that this is your reality right now. This is what's happening. And then from there, taking the responsibility to make good choices about it. And not getting trapped in this sort of self-pity almost. I mean, of course, allow yourself to feel those emotions, to feel the pain, whatever it is. Or the grief if you have to leave something behind that maybe was precious to you. Or maybe the fear of moving into the unknown. Because this process of transformation, it can feel very frightening. And the results are unknown and the outcome is uncertain. So that can give you maybe a sense of being lost, being out of balance. But with this card again, I'm getting trust that it will work out. And keep your eyes open and keep your mind open for new ways, for new opportunities. And there will be opportunities coming in, again, as I mentioned before. if you can allow this transformation, if you can allow this healing and this transformation of your heart and mind. You are very powerful is what I'm hearing, and I'm told to tell you. Believe in yourself is what I'm hearing. Believe in your own abilities to create your dream life. So if anything, I think this reading is a message of encouragement for you to just keep going and be open-minded and open-hearted and trust that it will work and trust that you have the abilities to move through it. So that is the good news I have for you today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose this card, the Faery Harper. Find the words to long forgotten songs and dance to the music in your soul. Yeah, and with this card, the first thing I'm getting is that you really need to make time to express yourself and have fun and just enjoy yourself. Reconnect to the things you love, to some hobbies. Maybe it's music or dancing or singing. Could be something else as well. Whatever you enjoy, I think now would be a good time to connect to it more. But let's see what this good news are all about for you. Ten of Wands. Yes, put down the burden sometimes. Take a break. And 2 more cards. So yeah. Again, just the fact that 2 more cards came out, I think you're being very busy right now. And the 2 of Crystals and the Fool. In this case, I'm seeing the Fool as the inner child. So maybe give some more space to your inner child, and as I mentioned before, reconnect to the things you enjoy. And with the 2 of Crystals, I am getting you need a bit more balance in your life, a bit more of a work-life balance. And I think the good news is that maybe until now you felt like you couldn't make time for those things, or you were just too busy, or you wanted to reach a certain goal and you worked hard for that. But I think the good news is that now you will be able to do that, to make space for that. Maybe even travel with a suitcase here, or relax in a comfy chair. Like she looks really relaxed. Maybe she's meditating or just having a bit of peace and quiet. And I think those are the things that you crave, and you will be able to make more space for them. And whatever this burden is that you have shouldered, you will be able to put it down, because the 10 in tarot always marks the end of a cycle. So you're almost at your goal. It's just around the corner is what I'm hearing. But I want to get 1 more card to see what this good news is about. And I'm getting this card, Water Priestess. Interesting. Make more space for your emotions is what I'm hearing. And I'm getting this idea, sometimes when we work a lot and we are very busy and we work very hard and maybe very, very stressed, it can happen that we almost forget how to relax. Or at least that's what I experienced in my life, that sometimes even when I have the time to take a break and I want to take a break, it's almost like I don't know how to take a break anymore. I feel kind of restless and having a hard time just relaxing and enjoying. And I think the Water Priestess is calling you to go into deep relaxation. Find ways to go into deep relaxation. Maybe water for you is the key. Maybe just taking a long bath or going to the sauna or going to the ocean, or I don't know, maybe you live near a lake or something like that, maybe spending time by the water or just listening to the sound of water. That could be really relaxing, but also reconnecting with your feelings, reconnecting with the things you enjoy. Again, that's the theme here. Okay, but let's have a look how this good news will change your life for you. Will you change your life for the better? We have the 6 of Wands. And the 9 of Wands. With 9 of Wands connecting to the 10 of Wands, I'm getting that you're getting out of a period where you just had to be very tenacious and just keep going, and maybe you didn't have the time to take a break, but from that you will move up to here where it feels more easy, and where the obstacles feel really small, here they feel really big. Can you see that? The branches are much higher here than there in this card. There it's like just have to sort of step over them or even between them, and here it's like almost like a wall or a barrier. Yeah, I think once you're able to balance out your life more, you will enjoy whatever this is again. Maybe I'm getting a strong sense that it is your work, but could also be some other project or obligation that you have. Whatever it is you have been trying to create, I think you have moved maybe from enjoying it, and maybe it has to do with art, right? Maybe you're a writer or a musician or something, and maybe you enjoyed it in the beginning, but then it became a burden, and I think it will move to being enjoyable again. And also I'm hearing you will be more successful than ever with it once you're more balanced, because of course when you have a lot of stress, also the brain sort of switches into survival mode, and your creative thinking is much weaker than when you're relaxed. And when you're relaxed, you know how they say the best ideas come to people in the shower. That's because you're relaxed and you're sort of open-minded, and that allows inspiration to just drop in. And again, with the water, right? It could even be just taking a nice shower and relaxing in that way, and allowing inspiration to pour in, so to speak. Okay, let's have a look at what else you can look forward to in the near future. Four of Wands. You are getting a new house. Well, it doesn't have to be so literal, but for some of you it might. And we have 10 of Daggers. Yes, I think I'm hearing the journey is coming to an end, and with the 4 of Wands, of course, the first thing I heard is you're getting a new house. So I feel like maybe you've been a bit lost, or maybe you've been seeking something, and I think you will get the sense that you have arrived, that you have found your place in this world, that you're ready to settle down and grow roots. And I mean, settling down doesn't have to be a bad thing. I think for some people it sounds like you have to give up on adventure and things, but no, I feel like you're a bit wary of not having a stable place in this world. And it could be a literal home, but it could also be more like a sense of belonging or a sense of purpose or something like that you are lacking. And this is coming in for you very strongly. And so many Wands cards, I think for you it is really about creativity and using creativity in a positive way, without pressure or feeling that you have to be creative, but finding back to that soul song of yours, to that joy in your soul. Yeah, very beautiful. Okay, let's get another card. Inner Earth, you'll survive that. New solutions and beginnings. And it's interesting that it says you'll survive that here because, of course, with the 10 of daggers, even though it is a 10, so again, the cycle is ending, you're moving on to something new, but at the same time it can feel like painful, so it could feel like you don't even know how to get through it. Let's not see the survive it so literally, but maybe you didn't know how you can actually get through it and get to this place, but new solutions will open up for you, new beginnings. More stable beginnings, more authentic beginnings, beginnings more aligned with your soul, with your heart, with your dreams, your desires, with who you are. And I think it will feel like a sanctuary with the inner earth here. Okay. I want to get one last card, and it's this one. It's the frog, so yeah, a lot about transformation, taking a leap forward, but also how she is holding the moon in her arms. Again, that ties nicely back to the water priestess, the connection to your emotions, to your dreams, to your hopes. Yeah, I think for you the good news is with those 2 tens, the difficult time will be over soon, and you will move to a better period in your life, a more fulfilling and aligned period in your life. And you will remember those long forgotten songs. Such a beautiful reading, such a beautiful message. I think this is really good news, and thank you so much for spending this time with me. This is all for now, so please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time. Hello again, and let's get started with your reading. So you chose the Gnome of Mushrooms and Buttons. Seek silliness and joy. They are wise teachers. I almost said silence and joy, so maybe both silliness and silence. Yeah, silliness and joy, they are wise teachers. It's time for you to have more fun. Yeah. But let's see what those good news are all about. And we have Divine. And we have the Magician. Wow. So the Magician and the High Priestess, 2 major arcana cards. It's interesting because that's not the first thing that comes to mind when I'm hearing silliness and joy. Actually, those 2 are very powerful cards. The Magician is, of course, about manifesting your dreams and desires and bringing them to earth. And the High Priestess or Divine in this deck is about tapping into your intuition and maybe dreaming up those things that you want to bring into life. But let's get some more cards to see how that all fits together. So what is this good news all about? And we have Atlantean Dream. Oh, I'm getting very mystical, magical, ancient energies. Yeah, it's very interesting. Those energies feel very unexpected to me. And of course, a lot of my channeling I'm doing through my own body and my own emotions. So I think whatever the news is that is coming in for you is very unexpected to you. And maybe it's not even news in the literal sense. Maybe it's more, I'm hearing you are waking up to a new reality or to a new view on life or a new perspective of life. And it is very much more magical and intuitive than before. And maybe that's the connection to the silliness. Maybe this feels a bit silly to you or a bit unreal because it's so mystical, magical that it almost feels like you're making it up, or it feels like it is silly to take it serious. And I'm not quite sure what it is, but maybe you're starting to notice some synchronicities or having some very strong intuitions and feelings about things. Maybe you feel intuitively drawn to things that you normally wouldn't choose, opportunities you wouldn't choose. Maybe you meet someone and you just know that you have to talk to them, or you are invited to an event and you just know that you have to go there, even though on a surface level you're not that interested in it. Something like that, I think, will happen for you. Yeah, and sorry that I'm laughing, but I'm finding it very exciting, but I think to you it might be a bit maybe confusing at first. And maybe that's the key, how to sort of receive those messages by not thinking about them too much, by not being too serious, just being playful about it and allowing yourself to experiment and explore and play with it and unlock its power in that way. Because if your mind doesn't want to believe it, what your heart is feeling, what your intuition is feeling, then I think maybe just see it as a bit of a game and just to see what will happen, I think. That might be beneficial for you. But let's see how those good news will change your life for the better. Knight of Daggers and 10 of Crystals. So yeah, I feel once you allow yourself to tap into those energies, they will give you great clarity on what you want and how to move towards it. It will give you great clarity on what your next steps are, what your next decisions should be. And it will also give you the motivation and drive that you need to pursue those. And the 10 of Pentacles, of course, in tarot stands for building a legacy. So, yeah, I'm laughing again because those are such powerful energies coming in, and I think you can't just feel them right now. You can't see them right now. I think, as I mentioned before, that for you it's somehow hard to believe that this is an actual path that you can take, because it might be a bit unusual or a bit silly or a bit different, or might even seem a bit childish to you, but you will intuitively know what it is. I can't tell you right now, because I think part of how you will get there is by learning to listen to your intuition and dream big with the Atlantean dream. Dream big. Okay. Let's see what else. Oops. We have the moose. And it's interesting, I think the moose looks a bit bored here. But also there's a cage and birds that have flown out of the cage. So I feel if you allow yourself to follow that path, it will give you a great sense of freedom. Yeah, I think that's what it will create for you, freedom and clarity, and with a 22 also more balance in your life. But it might require a bit of introspection. Maybe he isn't bored, maybe he is thinking deeply. Or maybe he's a bit sad that the bird has gone. I'm not quite sure. Maybe you will have to give up some ideas or some habits or something to be able to move on that path. But again, it will give you a lot of clarity and a lot of freedom, and ultimately allow you to build something very solid for yourself. And have I'm hearing solid idea of your own identity, have a solid idea of who you are. Getting to know yourself in a more rounded way. And tapping into those powers, of course, as I mentioned before. So let's have a look at what else you can look forward to in the near future. I'm not sure. And it's interesting, I'm feeling so undecided right now with drawing the cards. We have the 5 of Daggers, and I think that's another thing that you might be feeling a bit undecided or confused or lost. Or maybe those energies are just so foreign to you that you don't really recognize them yet. And we have the Star. Yes, with the Star, the first thing I'm getting is you will receive a lot of healing, a lot of soul healing, especially because I feel that this is probably something that your heart or your soul, if you want to, deeply desires, that you know in your heart of heart will make you happy, is a good match for who you are. But maybe you have learned to be a serious person and to live your life a certain way, a way that you feel is the right way or the respectable way or the logical choice, maybe even. But now you're invited to step into a more playful, mystical, magical world full of dreams and strange creatures and synchronicities maybe. And it might feel a bit alien to you right now, but it will eventually make sense. And it will also allow you to solve a conflict that you've been feeling either within yourself or a conflict you have been having with some other people or with some circumstances. I think you're already feeling that something isn't right and that there isn't a solution for it within your current framework. Isn't there the saying that you can't solve a problem with the same things that got you into the problem or something like that? So I think you will have to think outside the box to solve this problem, whatever it is. I think you know what it is because I think it feels like a reoccurring conflict either within yourself or with other people or maybe a conflict you have with life in general, that somehow nothing seems to work out, nothing seems to be right. Everything you try doesn't get you anywhere. Maybe you feel sort of stuck or confused or lost. And I think it's because in your heart of hearts, you know that you want to go this path, but so far you haven't allowed yourself to go there. And again, this reading is an invitation to tap into your intuition and to open your mind, to open your heart, to allow sort of strange path to lead you the way, strange opportunities, just random things maybe even. And you will know what those things are when you train your intuition. You will gain more and more clarity, as I mentioned before. And this will be very healing for you. And it will feel like a huge blessing if you can allow yourself to go there. Okay, let's get another card. The Seven Sisters, Birthing Creations, Tapestry of Life Expression. And the first thing I'm hearing is you will understand the interwovenness of life on a new level. And I think following your intuition, allowing yourself to have more joy and to be silly will also heal your relationships. Your relationship both with yourself, but also your relationships with your friends and families and loved ones. Maybe also your romantic relationship, if that's something that you're interested in. And it will allow yourself to express yourself more fully and to be more yourself and to live a life that is more authentic. And even though it might seem a bit crazy right now, I think in the long run it will also feel more real. Okay, yes, that is your good news for today. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. Please consider liking and subscribing, and see you next time.